here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. Oh, I'm going to have to fix that. Not 3-point. In the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss representing CranKy Gaming as well as they are teammates. It is herO. Beautiful. See Colossal go up in the chat. The Ghostless Cure falling out of this series. Oh no, not like this. True. SC2 Fool spitting facts in the chat. Over time, an infinite amount of Broodlords will get killed by only one Liberator. You're not wrong. No, these are true statements. As we're getting into this, and so far it's going to be a hatch gas pool opener, very standard opener here from Dark, which is important to point out. Ooh. This hero does send a scouting probe out on the map as well, through a very interesting scouting path, by the way. I was setting up a proxy gateway. No shot. herO, what are we up to? He does keep the probe hidden here towards the south. This would be a prime location for a proxy Stargate. Pylon with a Stargate. Cybercore is on the way, and you don't see this too often in this matchup. Okay. So the reason why you don't see proxy Stargates too often, yes, it's a really good way to get your first Oracle into the main base to get economic damage. This is true, but it's risky because in this matchup, you're so heavily reliant on your Stargate production to make your second, your third Oracle to get into Phoenixes, to get into Void Rays. It is a proxy Stargate. He's crazy. Okay. So again, this is just a really risky maneuver because unlike in some of the other matchups, like you are heavily reliant on this Stargate, like further on to get into the mid game for further production. If it does get found out, then this is going to be a big blow here to herO's production, to his tech, to his build. But Dark isn't scouting. There's no reason to scout. Again, this is just not really done too often. He's taking his third base. He's maintaining control of his bases. He's saturating his natural. And I'm curious as to how herO will pull this off. Does he just rally the first Oracle in, or does he bank up and wait for two? Yeah, he's rallied in. He's just going to be rallying his first Oracle straight into the main. Let's go. Back at home, herO, he's just throwing down his wall. Now this needs to be worth it for herO. This needs to do damage. Otherwise, he will lose control of his production of his Stargates. First Oracle is coming in. We have a second Oracle being pronoed out as well. And this is going to be blindsiding Dark. Dark, he has one Queen. And that is not going to be enough. Drones are going down. 4 workers, 5 workers already. At the same time, we have Adepts also here at the natural as well, pulling Dark apart. 6 drones, a good amount of damage. Especially considering that the Oracle survives and we have another on the way. Lings are checking, they're looking for that proxy location. They do come across that Stargate. herO is still shocking around. Third Oracle is coming out. Ling's gonna try and deal with this, and they will, but the third Oracle is gonna pop. And that is all that herO needs. 3 Oracles. It's gonna keep the Stargate alive a little bit longer. Lings are going for a big counterattack across the map. Good positioning here from Dark. Does get a lot of hull damage. But back at home, we're going for a delay. We're not quite going to delay the third base. Third base is about to be up and running. We're going for a Forge, a Twilight Council. We're taking up. We are transitioning into +1, and I imagine Blink. As the Stargate is going to get shut down. Now, the other downside to this for herO is, of course, this does make it more difficult to take up into Skytoss later on down the line, if the game goes on that long. We'll have to start that tech from scratch, essentially. As oracles are moving out. Try and ferry these adepts over into that natural base. Meanwhile, Dark is cutting workers really early on. Bailey Nest is on the way. Queens are waddling across the map. Dark is going all in. Drones are going down, but Dark, does he really care? His Lings, they make their way across the map. They're trying to lay siege on this third base. The Queens are still waddling. They still haven't been scouted. Bailey Nest is done. Show us those Bailings. There we go. 7 Bailings in production. herO, he finally sees the Queens. 2 more shield batteries are on the way. Stasis Trap as well. Again, this is a late scout from herO. Very late reaction from our Protoss. And that may have just killed him. That may just kill him. As Dark is attempting to bust into the natural base. At the same time, Bailey's then waddling into the third. But a big Stasis Trap goes off. Third base is saved. More Stasis Traps are going off as well, but they are being baited out. Gateways are falling. Cybercore as well. Oh, and these Bailings are about to come out. Oh god! Oof. They take down the sentries. Big connections. But does Dark have enough? I mean, it looks like the Stasis Traps, they were staggered and they took down so many of those Lings. And now with these reinforcements, herO, he's pushing on forward. Overcharge putting in a lot of work, keeping that Immortal alive, but it gets surrounded. And the Immortal is being overwhelmed. It looks like there are just too many Lings. Dark has done it. He has broken the natural. Again, it was a very last second defense from herO. He didn't know what was coming until it was already in his face. I was impressed by how well herO was able to defend despite that, but it still is not enough. Another probes! As the Bailings do waddle in. Oh, they don't quite connect actually. Oh my god. Despite that, the natural's been broken. The natural should go down. Bailings do connect. And herO, I mean, he's holding on to hope here. He does have a worker lead. He had a worker lead. But again, for the most part, Dark has broken him. Yeah, big connections on the Zealots. And the Lings, they've not just broken the natural, but now they're pushing up into the main as well. Where herO is attempting to make his last stand. We've got an Immortal, we've got some good SimCity, we have the Oracles as well. But there's just too much Ling Bane. And Dark is going to be popping off here in game number 1. Is going to be starting this series with a lead. Again, herO was being cheeky with his proxy Oracles, of course, and it was doing a lot of damage, but he was unable to get eyes on the all-in. Wasn't able to scout it. Wasn't able to respond fast enough. Back at home, Dark is droning, he's saturating his third. We have Roach Warren on the way, Lair as well. These Oracles, they've got a lot of work to do. But we have plenty of Queens to defend. Plenty of anti-air. And Dark, if you wanted to, we could either try to focus on killing the main or just head towards the third instead. There we go, we have Banelings waddling into that third base. herO, he does react. Saves what he can. He's down to 15 probes. He's down to 15 workers. herO is now all in. Now, can he end the game with this army? He's up against 7 Queens. He's up against 24 Lings. If the Banelings finish, I think Dark can hold. Yeah, we have Roaches on the way as well. Yeah, Dark has more than enough. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. GG. In this best of 5 grand finals. I know it said best of 3 in game. It's a best of 5. Oh, GG. Getting a little bit chaotic from both players, to be fair. But alas, Dark did come out on top. He does take a lead in this series, but it's a best of 5. Plenty of games are ahead of us. And even if a player takes a 2-0 lead, that means nothing between these two. Does mean nothing. Oracle should be able to kamikaze, like crash them in. Oh my god. You're crazy. That reminds me of the idea of an Oracle exploding reminds me of Wisps. It's Wisps in Warcraft 3, right? Where they're worker units, but they have the ability to like self-destruct. I never played Warcraft 3 competitively. I never laddered. Not true. The only time I laddered, I think, was like teams. Back in the day, we'd go to PC bungs and we'd ladder teams. I remember trying to play the original Dota, but I could never get into it. I never knew the rules. It was very, very unusual to me. I'm like, is this like Warcraft 3? Where's my army? It's like, no, you have one unit. It's like, what? I don't understand. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Let me fix his name. In the bottom left, we do not have Ragnarok. My apologies. We have the South Korean, there we go, Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming as well. It is herO. Here we go. We are now in the largest map in the map pool. Can lead to long macro games, yes. Can lead to certain playstyles as well, like SkyToss. We have seen herO is quite fond of it, of rushing into carriers. But when I talk about the tendencies and kind of the preferences of these players, I feel like I can't really delve too deeply into them, just because herO versus Dark is just a very unique matchup. Specifically, these two players, they mind game each other a lot. And because of that, it's like it's really hard to talk about. Like, for example, Dark on Ancient Cistern. Now, typically I would talk about how like he loves going mutas on Ancient Cistern. I think that's applicable to Altitude as well. Loves going mutas in this matchup. If possible, going for a mass link style into fast hive tech, into ultras, like other things that he's fond of. But against herO, Dark is very aggressive. He's much more aggressive. He's much more willing to go all in, like we just saw in Ancient Cistern. He's willing to cut workers and to end the game then and there. Just because Dark knows how much of a danger herO is if he's able to get into his own game. If he's able to get into his own rhythm, then herO, it's really difficult to keep up. So Dark, he's looking for any kind of vulnerability early on. And if he sees it, if he smells it, he's going for it. Oh, interesting pylon location. Stargate opener. Are we feeling a Void Ray first from herO? Are we feeling Void Ray? Part of me thinks so. I mean, this placement is really interesting. It's a little bit further back, which means it looks like herO wants to hide what comes out second from this Stargate. And we were talking about carriers, and carrier rushes has been something that herO has been very fond of. I expect to see it once in this series. I don't know if we're going to see it on Altitude, but I expect to see it at some point here in this best of 5. Here we go. The first two lanes are going to be slipping on in, and they will get into the main. Looking at the vision, they do get eyes. No, sorry, they do not get eyes on the Stargate, and I assume that this would be Void Ray, but it's going to be the other one. It's going to be a Phoenix. And something that herO did use to great success against Dark a couple of days ago in KSL is going for Mass Phoenix. Now we'll see if he continues Phoenix production or if he stops at 1. He's continuing. Okay. So the way this works is that herO, he builds up to 5, 6 Phoenixes at most. He's going to back them up back at home while he denies vision and denies scouting information, of course. So he's going to build up this count before he shows his hand, before he goes across the map, hunts down Overlords, hunts down drones, queens, and transitions into ground toss. This isn't like double Stargate play. Meanwhile, all the adepts are being caught out. Good catch here from Dark, getting a lot of damage done already. That one Phoenix trying to hunt down more Overlords. These Lings being very active, trying to get eyes and delay any kind of third base from herO. But herO, he delays his third even further by throwing down a third gateway. So very heavy 2-base play from herO. I don't expect this to be a 2-base all-in. I expect him to eventually expand, just a delayed expansion. As this Phoenix has 2 Overlord kills so far and is looking for a third. Doesn't quite find one. Meanwhile, the Phoenix counts, we have 4 in total. We're not going up to 5. Oh, there we go. There's the 5th Phoenix on the way. Just a little bit supply blocked for a moment there. But there we go. herO yet to reveal his hand. The other interesting thing is, if I remember correctly, these Phoenixes, they led into an Immortal all-in. There is no Twilight Council, which means no charge, no blink. Phoenixes, they take down a couple of workers, but not too many. We should be taking a third base. But I believe we're setting up a Soul Train-esque attack from herO. Talking Immortal Sentry and Vanilla Gateway units. 2 workers are going to be going down. Yeah, no Phoenixes have fallen yet, and they've just been gaining value. Gaining plenty of value. As there we go, more gateways are on the way, more sentries as well. And we're going to be going for the Observer first, but I imagine... Actually, sorry, a War Prism first even. Okay. herO wants to be in the face of Dark. He's already gotten 6 drones and he gets another 3. 7 in total. First Phoenix finally goes down. A bit of an overextension from herO. That should not have happened. We have a very limited amount of Phoenixes and they are very important, especially as the game goes on, to help support the follow-up all-in. Again, a big gateway explosion. We're just banking up sentries, building up the energy, and there are those Immortals on the way. This is going to hit like a truck. herO, he's barely going to saturate this third base. It's basically a 2-base all-in with a fake third. Now, obviously, the downside is that Dark has seen this before. Dark has died to this before. And how is he preparing? We have a Roach Warren that's just about to finish up. There we go. Roaches are on the way, which are going to be imperative here in the defense. I say that Ravagers are really what's going to be important here in the defense. And the sentries have arrived. Oh, Dark, he needs more time. The Baileys, they have morphed in. Looking for those connections, but good force fields. Do slow down the Zerg, but the Baileys, they do crash in. Good connections on the sentries. Only 1 sentry is left. herO, he fumbled the attack. He lost every single sentry. And with the death of those sentries, that means Dark, he can get on top of this army. He can push forward. Again, sometimes one misstep, one mistake is all it takes. Immortal goes down. Warp Prism as well. And herO's not ready for a longer game. Again, he was all in. He does not have a saturated third. He doesn't have a Twilight Council. GG gets called. Nothing is left. And Dark takes game number 2. GG. And it was a good start for herO. I want to emphasize that the Phoenixes, they were doing well for themselves. But the follow-up all-in, the execution of the all-in is what faltered there for herO. Again, he had so many sentries, he had so much energy, and it was like a handful of Banelings waddled in, and they connected. They connected with those sentries, and that was it. That was the end of the push. That was the end of that fight. That was the end of the game. GG. GG. And just like that, Dark is one game away. One game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. Now, we've been in this situation before. In the KSL, in the Korean StarCraft League, here he was down 2-0, and then he won 3 games in a row versus Dark. This was, again, only a couple of days ago. Can herO do it again? He needs to. It's a rough position to be in. Like, even though he's done it before, like, I don't want to say that it's an easy thing to accomplish. No, not at all. Dark is, you don't get better than Dark in Korea when it comes to Zerg players. The pressure is on herO. No more mistakes. Can't afford anymore. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming as well. Down 0-2 in the series. He needs to bring it back here and now. He needs your support in the chat. It is herO. He needs you, Papi. He needs you. Oh, we're going for the proxy hatch. Dark going for a proxy hatch out on the map. He has some room to work with here. For those wondering, the best map to go for a proxy hatch is Gressvan. The reason why? No ramp. No ramp coming into the natural. On top of that, out of all the maps that don't have a ramp coming into the natural, like Royal Blood and Ancient Cistern, Gressvan has the largest entryway into the natural base, which means you have a lot of surface area that you need to use, or that you can utilize to your advantage as a Zerg player to chip away at these buildings, to take advantage of this location. herO comes in for a probe scout. He does see the later gas in the later spawning pool. Can herO piece it together? He has seen. He checks. He knows. He knows exactly what's going on. He throws down a second gateway. He delays his expansion here in favor of production. Zealot is on the way. Now, how to defend against this? Well, just because this is the best case scenario for Dark is to pull this off on Gressvan, you can still defend as a Protoss player. Forge. The Forge is king, Bobby, because with the Forge you gain access to cannons. Cannons, you have shield batteries obviously as well, even without the Forge. Basically, the hindrance here for the Protoss is you have very limited production. Very limited. We have 2 gateways and it's all powered by 1 pylon, which is why stack defense does so much for you in just fortifying and supporting your army. Pylon is thrown down across the map. herO just making the transition very awkward for his opponent. And Dark doubles down. He throws down a Roach Warren. So he's not spine rushing. He's not going for the spine rush variation, but he is going for roaches. Meanwhile, herO, he is holding. He's handling this quite well. He's expanding. So if this was a spine rush variation, that's where cannons would be necessary. Ooh, but herO, is he overextending? He's able to hold on. So far, he is cleaning up all these lings. He's taking care of this queen. It's important that he stays on top of this queen so that there is no creep tumor. And Darky goes for the transfuse instead. Sorry, for the inject instead. As the queen does go down. But the hatchery survives. Roaches are coming out. Link Speed is about to kick in. And Dark is committed. And I worry that maybe herO is underreacting here. Ooh, Twilight Council follow-up. Not a robo for Immortals. So he's still relying on these 2 gateways. Warp Gates is finished. Lings are getting ready for a surround. They do come in. They take down 2 of those Adepts. Only 3 left. This shield battery is so late. And yeah, herO, he did not respect this. He did underreact. And Dark, he's pushing into the natural. There's only 1 Stalker left and 1 Adept. Boys have to be pulled. herO did not take this seriously. And can herO somehow hold on here? Shield battery is going to be cancelled. Another Ravager does complete, but the Lings are running out. But the Lings, they come in. They do come in the end. Take down another Stalker. And is this how he does it? This is how Dark is going to win this game. Is going to become the champion. As there's one Stalker left, and it will go down. Shield battery is going to finish, I guess, but with a bile takes everything out. GG gets called, and Dark will take the 3-0 and become this week's ESL Open Cup Asia number 194 champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark for having a dominant run here, taking the 3-0 over herO, something that doesn't happen too often. Typically, herO and Dark, they go back and forth. They have a series. Not this time. Not this time. Not this week. Not in this tournament. As Dark popped off, and again, when it comes to this proxy hatchery and how herO dealt with it, initially I did like that he went for a double gate response and he delayed his expansion, obviously. But clearly, herO, because things started off so well for him, clearly he thought that that was the end of it. Clearly he thought that Dark was transitioning. But remember, herO, he had pylon blocked across the map, and he didn't rescout the main. It was an all-in from Dark, and herO wasn't able to confirm that. He wasn't able to confirm, he wasn't able to recognize what was happening, and he was caught with his pants down. 100, like, this is classic herO with his pants down. The pants that were off, and he was exposed, Papi. He was all exposed, and Dark, he liked it. He liked it. GG. Congratulations to Dark. Congratulations. My condolences to herO. But again, these two, they go back and forth very often, so even though Dark may have won this time, I'm sure herO will get his revenge the next time they face, the next time they play. GG. GG. With that, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves as well. I hope everyone had a great time in the chat. Hope everyone enjoyed the games. Again, we weren't just featuring these two players, but we featured Cure earlier. We featured Classic as well, and yeah, great games. Great games were had. As I'm just catching up in the chat and getting those predictions going. One is not enough for life. It's not enough, Papi. I need more than one. Uno más. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. For those of you that are maybe tuning in for the first time, and if you're not familiar with ESL Open Cup, this is a weekly tournament for the Korean scene. It is not region locked, but it is at a friendly time for the Korean players. That's why we have mainly Koreans signing up and being a part of this. The Southeast Asians as well, of course. Open to any player, open to all regions, and yeah, this is every week here on Monday. We do have these tournaments, and it's not just for Asia, but we also have a variation of this for Europe and for North America as well. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft action, then in a couple of hours, let me just double check, 3 hours and 30 minutes, ESL Open Cup Europe will begin. Not many Koreans stay up for that. It's mainly European focused. So again, players like Lambo, Rainer Off Racing, MaxPax, Clem, Showtime, even Big Gabe, herO Marine, they do compete in the European Open Cup. So yeah, if you want to tune in, check out some of the other language casters, other English casters and community streamers. They are typically live covering that event. Streamers like Zombie Grub and Wardy and Steadfast and Chicken Man and many others, I'm sure, many others. We don't cast the European Cup here just because I'm in Australia. I'm here in Australia and it is 10 p.m. and the European Cup starts a little bit too late. For me, unfortunately. So sleep is nice. Sleep is good. Sleep at some point is a good thing. So we usually are asleep during the European tournaments, but in 10 hours time, the CranKy Ducklings, this channel is going to be live once again with the American variation of this tournament, with ESL Open Cup Americas, baby, Americas. So we got you covered in 10 hours. So yeah, you can, if you're going to be around, if you're going to be awake, mark your calendars, mark your alarms. We'll be live with some more StarCraft in 10 hours. So see you then. See you then. Again, if you enjoyed the casting, consider following us, consider following the channel. We have all the social medias. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. You can follow us. We have a Patreon as well, where you can support our tournaments. And you can subscribe on Twitch if you wish. If you want some emotes, if you want some replay packs, we got you covered on Twitch. And Patreon as well. And Patreon. Outside of that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who. I'm going to quickly have a glance over at all the live channels. And typically we try to support some of the smaller streamers out there. So yeah, stick around. Give them a chance. Give them a chance. Give them a moment of your time, and you may find someone you like. You may come across someone that maybe you didn't know about earlier, and you enjoy their streams. Give them a chance. Give them a chance. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys in 10 hours for ESL Open Cup Americas. Until then, hasta luego. Hasta luego. Bye. 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 Thanks for watching.